Hi guys, today you're going to be exploring the way that cells work together to form more complex organisms. So I'm going to explain the activities that you're going to be doing today. I want you to work your hardest and do your best, and we'll talk about it when I come back on Monday. First off, you are going to watch a video. You're going to be able to connect to it on Moodle that talks about the way the bodies are organized. And after that, you are going to take a look at this activity. Each group is going to get a white paper like this that has the organs on it. Each organ shows a little recipe. So we're talking about the organ, the skin, and these are the different kinds of tissues that make up the skin. And you can see there's a different recipe for each organ on the paper. Then you're going to have papers for each kind of tissue. Connective tissue, epithelial tissue, nervous tissue, and muscle tissue. You'll notice that each one of these tissues looks a little bit different. So you're going to want to match up the picture to the kind of tissues. You can see here the long, skinny cell represents a muscle cell that would make up a muscle tissue. Going to want to cut out all of these little types of tissues, as well as the recipes themselves. Then you're going to arrange them, following the recipe, into little packets, like so. And put a little staple at the top as well. So this organ represents the small intestine, and the recipe is one epithelial tissue, one nervous tissue, a muscle tissue, another nervous tissue, another muscle tissue, another nervous tissue, and finally another epithelial tissue. And so then you see what I did here. I've got an epithelial tissue. Notice I wrote the name down there. Then a nervous tissue, then a muscle tissue, then a nervous tissue, then a muscle tissue, then a nervous tissue, and finally another epithelial tissue. Altogether, this makes up the organ of the small intestine. And that's very similar to what part of that organ would be made of in your body as well. Different kinds of tissues sandwiched together or intermixed to make an organ that functions the way that you want it to. You're going to end up with all of the different organs made up into little packets just like this. See again, more little packets. Then you're going to take the yellowish paper, this is organism on it, you're going to fold it in half and staple or tape it to make a little pocket. And you'll notice here we have the different kinds of organs listed, the different kinds of organ systems listed. You don't have all of them, you just have some, but you want you to kind of match up the organs that go together. So, for example, the heart and the blood vessels, the veins and the arteries, go together. They work together to circulate blood around your body. That makes up the circulatory system. So next to the circulatory system, I would write heart, arteries, and veins, because those are the things that make up the circulatory system. And you'll do that. The other two systems you have are the sensory and the digestive systems. On the back, your instructions say to draw a diagram that describes how cells, tissues, organs, and organ systems and organisms are related. And here's my diagram. I want you to draw your own. Then finally, you'll put all of your group's names on the yellow folded paper. Tuck all your organs in, and you'll give this to your teacher today. And last, after you're done with all of this, you have a homework assignment. It will be due on Monday. You're to read and answer the questions on all 3 pages of this packet. If you get done a little bit early, go ahead and start it, and maybe even get it done and turn it in before you go today. All right, I'll see you on Monday.